Welcome to CityWise. I'm your host, Tiana Stevens. CityWise is produced by the City of Rochester to shine a spotlight on city living at its best. Well, as our city celebrates the 200th birthday of famed abolitionist and Rochester's favorite son, Frederick Douglass, RCTV, Rochester's Community Media Center, and Rochester Contemporary Art Center are spearheading a dynamic initiative inviting the whole community to honor and reflect upon one of our nation's greatest freedom fighters. Re-energizing the legacy of Frederick Douglass is a year-long celebration created by Carvin, Eison, General Manager at RCTV, and Bleu, Executive Director at Rochester Contemporary Art Center. Thank you guys for coming on today.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So I always get excited when I hear the two of you are working on a project, because that means something big is in store. And this anniversary, it's so monumental. Talk about the legacy of Douglass in Rochester.
The legacy of Frederick Douglass in Rochester is extremely important. There is no question about it. And when last spring, when Bleu and I started talking about, actually it started even before last spring, but last spring in earnest we started discussing what could we do when we saw that there weren't really any big plans to do anything. And one thing led to another, and meetings and proposals and discussions and more meetings.
Right.
And we end up with what so far has been a really exciting celebration, because Douglass is important not only to the city of Rochester and the county, but to our country. And what better could we do than initiate a celebration?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. I think, you know, this city has long paid attention to Frederick Douglass, his words, his influence. And so one of the key points for our project has been to really pay attention to the monument in Highland Park, the first monument dedicated to an African American in the country, to shine a lot more attention on that. We found, after talking with people, that few people, or not enough people in the community, knew of its prominence and significance. So that's really a central part of the whole project, our exhibition, and a number of other elements as well.
And tell us about your exhibition at ROCO.
So it's called No Soil Better, Art and the Living Legacy of Frederick Douglass. And the exhibition brings together 11 contemporary artists from Buffalo, Syracuse, Rochester, and New York City. And they've all made new works about Douglass, in some cases directly working from or influenced by this very important statue of Frederick Douglass. The Rochester Public Library also put together a nice historical display contextualizing the monument and showing many of us where it was when it was first installed, because that's sort of a storied part of this monument's history in our city, where it was first and now since it's been moved.
Right. Why is it so important to include contemporary art in this bicentennial anniversary?
Well, as visitors see with many of our exhibitions, of course, but certainly this exhibition, contemporary artists bring a whole set of different skills and interests and abilities to bear on a subject like this. They may approach it from very different angles, and certainly the outcome is surprising and interesting and engaging, and that's exactly what we want. We want to bring this legacy front and center